All signs are pointing to this. With cap casualties coming up, the Bills might have to make one with a player they just got a few years ago. Let's get into it all right here. Hello, everybody, and welcome to Bills Digest. I'm your host, Anthony Senicar. It is off-season time, so you know what that means. Tons of trade rumors, tons of free agency signings, and tons of draft coverage. And we got you guys all covered right here at Bills Digest. The only issue is 72% of you guys watching this video right now are not subscribed to the channel. Subscribe, join the army here at Bills Digest because we got you guys covered all off season for all your latest Bills news. We're on the road to 200 subscribers, and every little bit helps. So let's get into the video right now, guys. Obviously, it is off-season time. There are going to be cap casualties, and a name that is going around that is popping up in reports is that of Von Miller, who the Bills just got just a small 3 years ago. A report is Buffalo Bills Von Miller could be a salary cap casualty if a contract restructure is not done. The Bills could save up to $17.4 million in cap space with a release. Now, the only issue with this is that it has to be a post-June 1st cap cut. So again, what that means is he's got to be cut after June 1st. He is quote-unquote a free agent before June 1st, but the money does not become does not go up against the cap after June 1st. And again, in that ordeal, the Bills would save $17 million. And again, if they do it before then, it's only about $8 million. So again, he would have to be a post June 1st cut. And again, that kind of leaves the Bills in a tough situation where they want to, if they do cut him, they're going to want to bring someone in to replace him. But again, when you got to balance the books like this, it is kind of hard to work around it. Besides that, when the Bills signed Von Miller, they were not expecting what happened to really happen. He looked very, very good before he tore his ACL in that first year with the Bills. Last season came back, did not look like the same Von Miller. This season looked a lot better, but did not show up in the big moments when it was needed. When the Bills needed pass rush pressure against the Kansas City Chiefs, what happens? Von Miller was nowhere to be shown. And again, I am just going to look at his season stats with PFF. PFF rates him very, very highly, but again, you can have the best PFF grade in the world. I also want to see production on the field, and you got to see it. And it looked like he did get his bend back, his quickness back, but the sack production was not there for how much you're paying a guy like Von Miller. He finished off the season with 6 sacks. So again, middle of the pack. Again, when you're paying Von Miller how much you are paying him, you need 10-plus sacks per season. And it's his second year off that torn ACL, so he should be a lot better. But again, PFF rate him 82.4, 83 pass rush, and 62 rushing. And again, just looking at the whole visuals, there's obviously going to be big games where he played well and games where he played very, very poorly. That obviously would be in the Baltimore game. The first time the Bills played Baltimore, but again, the whole defense was abused that game. And again, if you look at where Von played well, a lot of those games are games against subpar opponents. He played very good against the Colts, who had a 35-year-old Joe Flacco quarterback. He played very good against the Rams, which had a standstill Matt Stafford back there, who's a very good quarterback, but again, guy who throws from the pocket. He played very good against Drake May, a rookie. Played very good against Aaron Rodgers. Again, Aaron Rodgers played very good against Drake May again, and very good. The second time he played Drake May was the last game of the season. He got his sack and he was done. So again, throw that out the window. The Broncos game against a rookie, and then the Baltimore and Kansas City game had a big play in the Kansas City game. The fumble recovery, or the Baltimore game, my apologies, had a big fumble recovery. The Kansas City game was a ghost and nowhere to be found. And the Bills have been chasing this pass rush problem for years. They tried to go with Von Miller to try and fix it. What happens is Von comes in, like I said, plays very well, tears his ACL, and again, the rest is history. So the Bills either need to restructure Von's contract or he is going to be a post-June 1st cut and again open up $17 million on the books. But again, if you take out a pass rusher, you got to bring out in a pass rusher. And if you're looking at the pass rusher market right now, Matt Judon, Josh Sweat, Khalil Mack, these guys up here are going to get paid a lot of bucks, just about Von Miller level money. Again, a name to look out for. Maybe if the Bills do restructure Von, push more money down the line, a name that I like in this list a lot, and reminds me of what the Bills did 2 years ago with Leonard Floyd, is that of a DeMarcus Lawrence. You have a rotation of a DeMarcus Lawrence, a Von Miller, a Greg Rousseau, and a J.J. Epenesa. Then you have fresh legs coming in all the time. Obviously, you want to go for the big swing. You want to go for the Max Crosbys. You want to go for the Myles Garrett's of the world, but that is going to make you give up assets. DeMarcus Lawrence, his projected cap from Sports Track is that of $12 million, which again, the Bills got Leonard Floyd for about $10 million. If you can bring in DeMarcus Lawrence, who is coming off an injury, get him for a nice maybe $9 million to $10 million contract, say, hey, you have an opportunity to come to the Bills and win a Super Bowl. You don't have to play as much as if you go to a different team, or you're going to be on every pass rush. Sean McDermott, Bobby Babbitt like rotating in the D ends. Again, DeMarcus Lawrence is on the older side at the age of 34, but again, it just gives you a proven pass rusher for a little bit cheaper, and it worked with the Leonard Floyd experiment where Rousseau and Oliver looked very, very good because you had a Leonard Floyd on the other end who was very disruptive. Greg Rousseau looked very good this year. Ed Oliver, not so much, and that is because Vaughn took time to get into game shape and get into his former self. And again, AJ Epenesa shows up when it's needed, but again, he's a depth piece. He is not a starting caliber D-end, in my opinion. So again, the Bills could end up restructuring Von Miller, which in my opinion, I think if your best bet is to restructure Von Miller, the money, if you can make it work, push some money down the line. Again, Brandon Beane did sign this contract with the intent of getting out this year if he needed to. So we'll see what happens. It's just this post-June 1st cut kind of makes me iffy about it, because then you don't get the money till around training camp, just before training camp. Like, the big fish are going to be out of the pond at that point. Then you might be bargain bin shopping with the likes of guys who are just looking for a prove-it deal, maybe Hassan Reddick. But again, Hassan Reddick, that's a whole nother story that I don't even want to get into. In my opinion, you restructure Vaughn, you bring in Vaughn, you run it back with Vaughn, Rousseau, and AJ Epenesa. You bring in another piece. You look at maybe a DeMarcus Lawrence or someone in that $9 to $12 million range. It worked with Leonard Floyd. Maybe you can run it back with another guy who's a little bit older, but has proven pass rush. Or if you're going to go post June 1st cut, swing the bat and go for a Myles Garrett or a Max Crosby. Give up the 2 first-round picks. Give up the assets you have been chasing. You have been chasing for this pass rusher for years. You tried with Von Miller. It worked for a bit, not so much now. And again, if anything, this past Super Bowl proves to win in this league, if you can rush 4 and drop back everybody else in coverage, you can win a Super Bowl with a defense like that. And I think the Bills are going to either need a stud who they can rely on, snap in and snap out, a Myles Garrett type, or they need to get bodies, and they need a fourth guy to rotate in to really become disruptive. So again, we will see what happens. Let me know your thoughts below, guys. What do you think? Should the Bills cut Von Miller, save that $17 million? Or should they restructure Von, push money down the line, and bring in a fourth body, kind of a mid-tier guy, just to have rotate in and add another body to that defensive line? Let me know your thoughts below, guys. We are in off-season time, so you know what that means. It's way more trade rumors are going to be coming around, and way more free agency signings are just around the corner. So stay in tuned here at Bills Digest, because we got you guys covered all off-season. Please subscribe. We're on the road to 200 subscribers, and every little bit helps. And like I always say, guys, go Bills.